I mean, that's the suggestion, but...
Well, you say, well, we press and clean. As a matter of fact, yeah, you got some trousers you want pressed? Hey, no problem at all.
All right.
All right, let's get going.
Let's get this going.
Everything.
All right.
So I'm here again with our friend Randy Tyson from Legion of Reason. Randy, thank you for joining us. And we have James, the amazing Randy, with us, as one of our colleagues would say.
We have a plethora of Randys.
Well, we actually met a few times ago, and you liked my name very much, obviously, and mentioned that as you were signing one of my books. And
I don't remember the matter.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not a memorable person, I'm sure.
There you go.
And I should say congratulations on the Lifetime Award you received yesterday.
Well, thank you so much. And I was quite surprised that Penn and Teller actually showed up in person.
Pretty much everybody knew but you.
I'm sure. They were local, you know.
Yes, fantastic.
They were in the area.
Randy, I've got several questions that were asked by my my audience and some of my crew, and there was a nasty rumor saying that the $1 million challenge from the JRF Foundation is no longer.
Oh, no, it's still there.
It's still there.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
we still got it there. But we're not asking for applications for it. What we do is we look up people that are making claims that they have these mystical powers in their hand, and if we figure it's worthwhile, we'll get in touch with them and say, would you like to have $1 million? And you'd be surprised how many of them ignore that.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's proactive now.
You know, if I could do something that was worthwhile, I can do a couple of card tricks, for example, but, you know, if I could do something that was worth $1 million, I think I would do it.
Sounds like a pretty good deal. You're obviously the godfather of skepticism. Do you feel that critical thinking should be taught?
No, godfather.
Oh.
Just father of skepticism. Okay, thank you.
The father, atheist father of skepticism.
That's right. I try to avoid the
godless
God
father.
thing. Yeah.
Godless father.
Godless father.
That works too.
Yes.
I like that, Randy. Thank you.
Do you feel that critical thinking should be taught very early to kids, and how early would you say?
Oh, I think from the moment that they start to talk to their parents about the real world and such, I wouldn't know what age. I've never raised any kids myself, but I must say that the earlier that the kid is beginning to understand what life is really all about, and again, that's going to be different ages for different kids, of course, but I think that, of course, I would be very much in favor of atheist point of view being taught from the very beginning with kids, because I look upon religion as, what's the term Penn and Teller use? Oh, yes, bullshit. I keep forgetting it.
Yes.
You know, it's interesting because magicians make their living on awe, in a way, and mystery. And for you to become such a great debunker, do you think more magicians should follow your lead?
No, I'm not a debunker. I'm an investigator.
Okay.
If it turns into debunking, then I become the debunker. But I start out as an investigator. I always say to myself, because I do that frequently, I say, you know, I wonder about this. I don't do that very seriously. Gentlemen, just between us. Don't tell your audience this.
Okay, no, not at all.
Yeah, of course not.
We'll
They'll never know. They'll never know. But I don't believe in any of the what was it? Bullshit. Yeah,
yes,
I keep forgetting the term.
Bullshit.
That I hear about in connection with religion. It's superstition. It's uninformed. It's sort of a thing to lean on. And I don't want to take away anybody's props and let them fall on the floor, but I never needed it. As a small kid, my parents sent me to Sunday school. That was the worst thing to happen to that Sunday school.
I love that story.
I can tell you, I would ask questions all the time. How do you know that? Well, it's in the Bible. That's all they tell me, and they'd slam the Bible in front of me, and I'd say, but where in the Bible? They'd turn to page in Deuteronomy or something like that, and I'd say, who is he? Well, you said this is the Word of God. Yeah, but now I was a very young kid. I guess I was about 12 at the time or something. And my father had given me a quarter, by the way. And in those days, hey, even a Canadian quarter.
It was a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. And not only that, he would give it to me and figured that I would put it on the plate, you see, when the plate was passed in Sunday school. Well, I learned from the very beginning that it wasn't too difficult not to put the coin on the plate. And the second week I was barred from Sunday school anyway. But my parents never found out. Can you believe it? If they're in heaven now, I'm sorry, guys. But no, I never went back to Sunday school. But I found that Purdy's Drugstore up on Bayview Avenue in Leaside, they would serve a 2-flavor Sunday ice cream sundae for 25 cents. But for 20 cents, you only got 1 flavor.
That was a sign.
Yeah, my friend Gary only got 20 cents as an allowance, you see. And so I was ahead by a nickel. And that was a big advantage in those days.
Well, big discovery, too.
Oh, yes. I mean, and a bonanza. Yeah.
Your parents never found out.
So religion pays off if you work it right. If you work it right.
Well, Peter Popoff definitely knows that.
Oh, yes. Well, now that's one of the most famous cases that I handled. At least it's the one I'm most proud of, because Johnny Carson reached out to me and I asked him. I said, "Could I do this on the show?" He said, "Hell yes." Oh yes, he said, "This is exactly the kind of thing I like to do," and we did it on the Carson show. And Popoff is still in business.
Yeah, he's still.
It just shows you this
how
nonsense
do you feel about that?
It goes on forever. It goes on forever. And Popoff, as far as I know, doesn't use the radio gimmick anymore, but he doesn't have to. He's now got, what is it, spring water from Chernobyl? And that 10,000 people died at Chernobyl from radioactivity, which is nonsense. That didn't happen at all. But he says, but not one Christian died.
Yeah.
Come, give me a break. What makes Christians different? They don't glow in the dark?
No, apparently not.
Or maybe they can glow in the dark. It
And
doesn't kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting to see that usually when people look at they look at figures of authority to tell them the truth, they look at scientists or politicians. Mm-hmm. A magician becoming so well renowned to be such a powerful voice in the skepticism movement. Did you ever get people not giving you credibility?
Oh yeah, oh no. Well, I earned it over the years. Hey, I'm 87. And in all that time, if you can't earn some credibility along the way, there's something very wrong with your efforts. But no, I've gained a very good credibility, and I've got 10 books out, with the 11th coming out, and that's going to be called A Magician in the Laboratory. And it's going to cover all the places around the world that I've visited in labs and such. And I mean all over the world, from Australia to through China, and all over the world. And it's big, thick book, I can tell you that. Accounts of laboratories where I visited, and I never knew until I left and got feedback from other folks afterwards whether or not they really listened to what I had to say. And some of them went right back to it. In Russia, there was no talking to them at all. The white-haired professors and everything would nod and smile and laugh at the magician, that kind of thing, And through the translator, I would learn that he didn't really believe that what I was saying, that this was real. This the fellow had shown them was absolutely the real thing. There's no question of it. And we have proof of it, scientific proof. This is a science lab,
Yeah.
Blah, 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 throwing his weight around.
Interesting. Now, you said that Peter Popoff was probably your greatest triumph as far as deep...
Well, the one that stands out.
The one that stands out.
Yeah, I've had lots of others. Sylvia Browne was another.
Okay. So would you say she was probably your worst nemesis?
Oh, no.
No?
She didn't bother me at all.
Okay.
No. These people don't bother me at all. Naturally, I'm annoyed at their existence in the first place. But Sylvia Browne, she was pretty well wiped out by me and by others. What's his name? Forgive me. Bob Lancaster. Bob Lancaster was a very big name in this business as well. And he had to stop Sylvia Browne.
Website?
Address, yeah. And he was very effective at it. And he challenged her all the time, very, very effectively, I must say. And Sylvia actually appeared on a couple of programs with me, the Larry King show, as a matter of fact. And one of her flunkies got on there and confronted me, and it was a failure for them, a total failure for them. And even Larry King who wasn't very big with the compliments and such, but he liked me, I think. And he even said at the end of the program, well, I guess that's the end of Sylvia. You know, and it was effectively the end of Sylvia, because we published, and my this 11th book will have a very big chapter on how Sylvia Browne went down in flames.
Good.
I love it in the TED Talk when you called her the Talons. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I had the T-shirt from Tam with the one with the three.
It was Sylvia, Uri, and me.
And you. There's one other person on the shirt. I can't remember who it was. But...
Oh well.
Yeah,
it's a shirt.
Yeah,
who cares?
Which myth today that's still prevailing is that really kind of bugs you? You'd like to see it disappear.
Well, religion in general, of course, but the homeopathy thing has really got me very incensed. And as I say in this new book now, you'll all be going out to buy a copy, won't you, folks? No, seriously, I think that homeopathy is one of the biggest enemies that medical science has today. And the interesting thing to me is, and frustrating thing is, that the UK, several years ago, invaded against homeopathy, and they investigated it thoroughly, and they came to the conclusion that it doesn't work at all. It's just a farce. And it was discontinued, and the homeopathic hospitals closed down and whatnot. And then there was such a hue and cry, oh, we want homeopathy. There's no content to homeopathy. Now, my challenge, of course, for the $1 million is with any homeopath, I will present you with samples prepared by registered pharmacists that will be homeopathic or just plain water. You tell me which ones are which, and you win the $1 million. No questions asked. That's it. If you can identify them, you get the $1 million. And not one of them has taken me up on that challenge.
Wow.
A lot of the big claims, oh, yes, I could take his money very easily. But they don't do it. Now, anybody who can resist taking $1 million cash, boom, just like that, I think there's something wrong with their reasoning, or else they are liars.
Or they're making more money.
yeah, exactly. They might be.
What is it about human nature that, you have a conference of skeptics or something like that, you'll have an audience, but a small one, but then you have something about homeopathy, and then people come out by the thousands.
Well, they don't know. They just don't know.
But this is the age of information. How could you not know?
Well, if you choose not to know. Okay. And you see, now, take Cancer Centers of America, for example. Very big organization, very reputable organization, and they do wonderful work. And I don't know much about their internal operations or anything, but they also offer acupuncture. And I don't know whether they offer homeopathy, but I wouldn't be surprised. But acupuncture, that's another myth, a total myth. Mm-hmm. And I fight these things. The quackery in medicine is so hard to fight because you get people that convince themselves that it works. And it does not work. And anyone listening to this program, if you say that it does work, hey, prove it.
There's $1 million on
$1 million waiting for you. In a big envelope, big fat envelope.
Do you ever think that with your help and what you've started and all that skepticism will one day be mainstream?
Oh, well, it's improving a great deal. We'll look at the group that we're talking with right now.
Well, we're still in the minority, right?
Yeah. Still a minority, no question of that. But I have great faith that it will improve enormously. And I've worked to that end I am only 87, going on 100, as I say, because I'm an optimist, to say the least.
You got something you want to add, Randy?
Well, I just want to go to the more personal side because,
sure.
We watched An Honest Liar last night, and a wonderful film, by the way. And what made it wonderful was when we see the typical side, we see of you as the skeptic, the person that investigates claims of the paranormal, etc. And funny, you never show them how you replicate what others claim to be. I guess that's the magician's secret kind of thing.
Well, no, if you replicate it, it's so simple. People say, oh, well, it can't be that simple. Yes, it can be that simple.
But then, something rather traumatic happened to you, and
oh, yes.
And we in the film, that this is what I think made the film so special, is that we saw this personal side of you. Mm-hmm. And in looking at that now, what is that? How is that to you?
Well, a thing that didn't emerge in the film as strongly as I would have liked it to be is the fact that you have me on there saying, now none of this must be used, and such. And the directors and managers of the film and everything said, oh no, agreed, okay, it won't be used, such. But it only took me, less than 24 hours of thinking that over. I was shocked when they came and they just grabbed my partner right out of my phone.
Of course.
Like that,
sure, this is a reaction.
Oh no, a terrible shock, and I was blown away by that. I frankly admit. And after I said that to them and really meant it, I had less than 24 hours to think about it, and I got back to them and I said, "Wait a minute, guys. I said warts and all. Yeah. Tell my story, tell our story, and tell it warts and all. And it's not right for me to withdraw that. So I canceled that statement. Use it, and they used it as they should have. It was unfair of me, and I was shocked. It was less than 24 hours before I lost my partner, and damn, that's something you have to think about.
I guess I should ask, how are you two guys doing today? You guys are good?
Oh, very well.
Awesome.
Very well. Oh, yes. Yeah. He's an artist of absolute astonishing talent.
He doesn't travel with you once in a while?
Oh no, he does usually, yes.
Okay.
But he can't leave the United States. You see.
Yeah. I see.
He couldn't come to this particular event.
That's too bad.
But I've been keeping in touch with him, calling him regularly, and he says, "How'd this go and how did that go?" And so he's keeping in touch, of course.
That's awesome.
So what is it like for a typical day for James Randi these days?
There is no typical day for James Randi. Every morning that I get up,
he gets up in the morning, gets out of the straitjacket.
Yeah, a couple of them maybe. But it's tough to get the maid down the hall to put it on me, though. You see, they think it's rather kinky, but they know that I have a good time with it, so they go along with that. But no, I must say I wake up. I'm a very early riser, and usually I'm up by 7 and started my day by then. But every morning that I wake up, and I do this, guys, I swear, I look over at the window, and I made it again. I mean, really, it's a bit of astonishing from me at 87 that I'm still. And you may find this interesting. My manuscript that I have for the new book, A Magician in the Laboratory, I have to go through it regularly and check up on the people who have died since I wrote the manuscript, because I always like to have their birth date and their date of decease. And look at what was his name? The astronaut. I call him the half astronaut. Memory for names. Make notes because I'm losing it. Anyway, the astronaut who went to the moon and he did ESP experiments on the way to the moon. And total failure. He wrote a book about this thick. And I'm showing about 3.5 inches here, folks. That thick a book on psychic exploration. What a dumbo.
Why doesn't it just use astral projection? I mean, what's the point of leaving the Earth to do these things?
Yeah, that's right.
I call it half astral projection.
I admire your level of energy at your age.
Oh, absolutely.
But I must admit, I hope I've got this much energy when I reach.
I may walk out the door and drop dead, so
yes.
Don't be too I
really doubt it. I
just had a pacemaker put in me. Yeah. Oh, pacemakers. I recommend them to everybody at the age of 14 or so. Yeah, you should start early. But no, you know what was happening. I went to my cardiac physician, and he said, "You've got a." He monitors me constantly. I think you've got a problem here. He said, "Look at this," and he showed me the little graph that they will generate on the machine, showing your heartbeat and everything. And it goes along and then.
Oh.
I was missing beats, like 2 or 3 beats in a row every minute. And he said, "Oh, that makes a difference because it's not pumping oxygenated blood to your old body, you see.
Yeah.
And so he said, I think we better put in the pacemaker. And so they put in the pacemaker. It was a nothing operation, but I've got it right in my chest here.
Yeah, it's amazing. The
Close to
lead,
your heart.
in cardio medical, it's amazing the lead they've done.
Look at the stuff they're doing
I
in
know.
medicine now.
It's amazing.
And it's astonishing that 15 years ago, I couldn't have had that done. And I couldn't have a lot of other things. I had colon cancer. And they did a laparoscopic operation, which is they put a camera in one side of your tummy, and they put the instrument on the other side, and they looked for where they made marks. When they went through there with a long, I don't want to get into the details of that. I don't know that. I was in bye-bye land, I can tell you, and happily so. But they made marks, and they just looped it out and snipped it off and sewed it together, probably humming, and then they tucked it back in again. The problem now is, and this is serious, I have 3 navels. Yeah, I don't know which one to consult, you know. When I'm navel gazing, I look down and I say, that looks like the original one, I think. I'm not too sure. I have to get a mirror, you know, and if I want to contemplate my navel.
Well,
and that's a lie.
You
What
can
I
do
just told
3
you is
times
a
the
total lie.
naval contemplation. That's the thing. You're lucky that way.
Who brought him?
James Randi, this has been an honor, a pleasure. You have no idea. Anything you want to plug in for your next book or something, by all means, go right ahead.
Okay, well, no, I just want to announce to the public at large, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you'll all rush out and buy my new book, which is not printed yet, so don't stand in line at the bookshop, but it's to be called A Magician in the Laboratory. That's not lavatory, that's laboratory. Okay, get the title right. And I trust you'll enjoy it. It's going to be a big, thick book, like a telephone book, I think, about that size. But it's probably my swan song.
Excellent.
And, I hope not, but who knows?
Thank you so much, James.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful
Hope-
storyteller. You're not
Welcome
going to
back
get him
home.
to do it. You're not going to get him to do it.
To do what?
Left at the valley.
Oh, that's right. James, can I get you one quick favor? Can you say, I'm James Randi or James the Amazing Randi, and I took a left at the valley? Can I have you say that?
You took what?
Took a left at the valley?
Oh, pardon me, I left it. He had to take off most of his clothes. It was his shirt here. All right. Hi, I'm James Randi, and I took a left at the valley.
Thank you, James.
Did that work?
Beauty.
Perfect.
You said,
Beauty.
okay.